What's up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jessica Hickson and I spent 5 years working my way up to the top of an MLM before realizing they're just not all that they're cracked up to be. My goal with this channel is to rescue some HUNs, to prevent some HUNs from becoming HUNs, and to also give those a voice who have left the HUN bot industry like myself.
It's what you do, making me feel like I'm falling, and when you're moving,
Today's small business shout out goes to, I'm probably gonna butcher how to pronounce this, but Pariah House Cosmetics. Of course, I'll leave all the links in the description below so there's no confusion, but this business was nominated by one of my subscribers named Taylor. She wanted to nominate Pariah House Cosmetics because she's purchased from her a few times on Instagram, and she just said that she is so sweet and very professional. Pariah House Cosmetics makes eyeshadows and is slowly adding to different collections of items that she offers. One cool thing she does is you can create your own eyeshadow color. She has really great prices and products, and I love seeing small makeup brands flourish. I actually checked out some of the work on her Instagram and she has some absolutely beautiful colors, so definitely go check out Pariah House Cosmetics. I will leave all of her links in the description below. Okay, so you guys, I didn't even plan on making this video, but when I was going through some of my files on my computer, trying to get rid of some files and make room for the video that I just filmed, I came across this Zoom recording. Oh my gosh, it was a Zoom recording that I did. It was like a team training Zoom. Once I started listening to it, I was just like, oh my gosh, I have to share this with everybody. So I have not watched it all the way through. I've only watched like the beginning of it. So you guys are gonna get my real raw reaction here. So let's just dive in.
I'm just gonna go over the questions that you guys talked about in our team chat first, and then I'll just open it up for any other questions that you guys had. So the first question that a lot of people wanted help with was how to get distributors. I will tell you that it took me a month and a half to get my first distributor. It's something that comes with time, with posting consistently every single day. So a couple of the tips that I wrote down that have helped me a lot was I make a personal post about It Works every single day, whether it be just me in my It Works shirt, you know, talking about how I get paid to wear, you know, It Works clothing, or
which you did not get paid to wear It Works clothing, but that's a post that they're still making to this day. Like, what would you do if I told you you could get paid $1,000 a month for wearing cute clothes and posting about it on social media? That's not a thing, but nice try.
Me drinking my greens. Incorporate it into your life so that people can see that you're living a normal life and you're still making money. You don't want someone to think that if they're busy, then they're not able to do the business.
But that's true. They're not able to do it and be successful if they're really busy already, because it takes a lot of time.
So I try to make it look like my life is normal and incorporate the business into it. A question I get a lot is, how do you portray to people what the business has done for you if it hasn't really done anything yet? If you don't really have a financial benefit from it yet or anything like that. So what I did when I hadn't really made a significant paycheck yet is I talked a lot about the future. And I use this example every time that I talk about signing distributors, but I uploaded a picture of my husband's MacBook, and I just said, I can't wait, or I can't believe that in 2 months I'm going to be making enough money through It Works to be able to afford my own MacBook so I don't have to steal his every time I need to get work done. So talk about where you will be, not where you might be. So that's another good tip. If you don't feel like you have a significant story yet, you will. But if you don't have one yet, share your upline story. Like, feel free, if I make a post about my story, share that. I know that a couple of you are under share my story. You know, share any of our stories. People like hearing stories that come from people that you know personally. So rather than going and finding a story from some black diamond in the company that you have no idea who it is, post a story. Like, for instance, if you post my story, like, I'm so happy for my upline, Jessica, you know.
If you want to post about me, just say like, I'm so happy for my upline, Jessica.
Not self-centered in any way.
address me by name so that people feel like you know me personally, then they're going to believe those kind of stories more than a black diamond story.
People are still doing that with my before and after photos, except they're saying like the wrong name. So they're like, I'm so happy for my friend Rachel or my friend April. You know, they're calling me by a different name. So I guess that's my fault because I taught people to do this. So
talk about why you joined. So if it's for your kids or if it's for, you know, extra income because you can't make ends meet or whatever it is, people really feed off of emotion. So if you create some type of emotion with your post, whether it's excitement or...
I literally just talked about this yesterday in my video about how creating emotion with your posts allows people to connect with you on a deeper level. So that's a tactic that people in MLMs use in order to gain a closer connection with their following so that they can manipulate them into joining their team. Also, can I just talk about how monotone I used to talk? Like, I sound like I'm 0% excited about anything that's happening right now.
Like sympathy, you know, any type of emotion in your post that someone else can relate to, then they're gonna, I don't know, they kind of cling on to those kind of posts. Another tip would just be to post about small purchases. Even like if your paycheck with it works, my first paycheck was $80, so I could, you know, post a picture of me filling up my gas tank and say
the infamous gas tank picture that we've all seen. I feel like the gas tank picture and the coffee picture are like the two most common.
So thankful for an extra 50 bucks a week to fill up my gas tank, or so thankful for the little things in life, like it works paying for my coffee.
before it works, filling up my gas tank was so stressful. Like I had to tell my husband 10 bucks this week and we have to make it last.
I mean, that was true. We did put like little amounts of gas in before I joined It Works, but that was only because we wanted, like every Tuesday we would go to Buffalo Wild Wings for like boneless wing Tuesday or something like that. And we always wanted to make sure that we kept enough in the bank account to be able to do that. So that's why we would put little amounts in the gas tank. And we had Buffalo Wild Wings last night. It's a bit of an addiction.
You know, like tell those kinds of stories, even if they're just small purchases. Like I went to the gas station today and was able to afford a cup of coffee. I would have never splurged like that before it worked.
The coffee, I told you, those two, the main ones. I was waiting for it.
Something like that, just small little purchases. Show encouragement to your teammates. So like, I don't know, if someone on your team or your upline gets a promotion or something, I'm so happy for so-and-so.
Love bombing. Could have just shortened it up and summarized it all in one little term, love bomb them.
They reached their goals this month or whatever. People like to see that you're part of a team, and that if they were to join, they would get the same encouragement and the same kind of like team atmosphere on your team. Another thing is positivity. So a lot of people who have joined my team have said, like, I love how inspiring you are on Facebook. I love that you're always happy. And of course, I'm not always happy, but I never portray that on Facebook. Like, Facebook would never know if I'm having a bad day. I don't go on there and talk about politics or complain or anything like that.
Yesterday in my video, I'm saying yesterday, I don't know when this video is gonna go up, but one of the last videos I did where I was like going over my old notes that I found, in one of my like training notes that I found, I put in there like, don't talk about politics, be positive all the time, social media should never know when you're having a bad day. And I talked about how unbelievably sad that is. Like, you can't confide in the people around you or be yourself on social media because of your job, then like, what are you doing, you know? But here we are.
So stay positive. And then when you're talking with potentials about joining, don't be too wordy. I know when I first started, and a lot of people when they start, they feel like everyone needs to know what you know. So I felt like everyone needed to know, when I was talking to someone about the loyal customer program, everyone needed to know that it was on an auto shipment, that you have to stop it after 3 months, you know, yada, 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 yada. Really, all they need to know about the loyal customer program is that they have to try one product a month for 3 months, and they're going to get my 40 to 50% off discount for life.
So leave out the small minor detail that they have to order something for 3 months or they pay a $50 fee. Leave that part out.
So same thing when you're talking to potential distributors. When they ask you, you know, what's it cost to start up? I always say there's no enrollment fee right now, but you do have to purchase your startup kit. It comes with all of your business essentials and $140 of free product that you can sell to make your money back. So when I first started, I would say something along the lines of, it's $99 to start. You're going to get this and this and this and this and this and this and this in your kit. And, you know, I went on and explained everything, and people just don't need to know that.
This is funny because I just filmed a video reacting to another person's team Zoom, like a top leader's team Zoom. And she said, like, people don't need to know that information. And I literally said, like, yeah, they do. That's kind of important information, and you can't twist it to be like something that it's not. How I said, there's no enrollment fee right now, but it's $99 to buy your startup kit. Like, bitch, that's an enrollment fee. What?
Stuff, and it kind of scares them away if you give them too much information at one time. So try to be short and sweet when talking to potentials. Talk to them like they're your best friend. Don't ever try to, don't ever try to talk business with them or like be really professional with them. I feel like people react better to if you're talking to them as if you've known them forever.
Relatability factor, remember?
So everyone knows I'm a stickler on relationships. Building relationships are so important. So when you've built those relationships, it's easier to talk to those people about being a distributor because it's like you're just talking to your friend. It's not like you're talking to a complete stranger that you don't know like who they are, what they like, anything like that. So be short and sweet. Post about your goals and recognize yourself when you've reached those goals. So I've had a ton of people come to me and say like, hey, did you ever get that bonus that you were posting about? Or, you know, it's so inspiring to see that you've set these goals and that you've reached them. Like, that's crazy. And so post about your goals, even if, you know, like they're small goals. Like, my goal this week is to get 3 loyal customers. Like, it might feel like at first that you're kind of, I don't know, desperate or begging for people. But if you just put your goals out there and then next week be like, I had 3 girls jump on board last week, then people are going to recognize that you reached that goal. And, you know.
And nobody cares if you reach that goal.
Everyone wants to join a team that is successful. Let's see. I sometimes post about our Zoom calls just because, like I said, people do like the team atmosphere and they like that they're going to have support from other people. So maybe post about our Zoom call. And I'm sure you guys saw some of the posts last night that it's so nice connecting with other people who have the same goals and the same mentality that you do. And it's really scary to post your story at first. I can attest to that. I tried to post her story for months, and it's scary. It's scary to lay that out all on the table for everyone else to see. But I'm bringing that emotion, and for people to see who you really are is what's going to attract them to your team.
I touched on this in one of my last videos, but it's so sad that people feel the need to be over vulnerable and over emotional, or I guess like not over emotional, but overly like open with their emotions in order to find success in their business. Like any job that's asking you to put your deepest, darkest secrets and your deepest, darkest traumas, your deepest, darkest like times in your life, if they're asking you to put that into the open in order to attract people to what you're doing, that's like kind of a red flag. Anything that asks you to do that in order to find success probably isn't a good thing.
Like, I've had people actually personally thank me for being an open book. They're like, I love that you're an open book. Like, you post about your struggles, you post about, you know, like your achievements. People love that. And so it is really scary, but it's definitely worth doing. People love the personal type posts. It's hard to think of those kind of posts at the beginning. So what I did was I would go like find a leader, like I would follow or something, and I would look at her.
That's so funny because the person that I just mentioned is actually our favorite girl, if you know what I'm saying.
Post, and I would kind of input my life into that post. So I would take out, you know, like she said she has a kid and that they were hanging sheets over their walls to keep the heat in during the winter. And so I just kind of took that part out and inserted my story. So if you need kind of like a template or something, go to any of us, like any of us leaders, and kind of look at our posts and use it as an outline for your own posts until you can kind of get the hang of it. But right, being personal is really important. People skim right over ads. I mean, like, how many times have you thought to yourself, like, man, I really wish I saw one more commercial today, or I really wish that the radio would have played one more ad.
Literally all my posts were ads. They were just disguised to not be ads, but I see through them now.
Like, nobody says that. So, you know, when people are scrolling through Facebook, it's the same thing. They see an ad and they're like, nope, keep scrolling. So if you have a picture of your family or a selfie or something that's going to catch their eye, they're more likely to read your post. All right. Anyone else have any other questions about getting distributors? If not, I'm going to move on to the time management and motivation that Melanie asked about. No questions. All right, so what I wrote down for motivation, the number one thing that keeps me motivated is staying plugged into calls like these. So our team calls.
This is another thing that you're ashamed about. Like, I was present for every single team call up until like the end of my time in the company. I was present for every single team call because if you weren't there and you were a leader, you were not leading by example and you were shamed for that. It was highly frowned upon for you to not be present or show up for your team or stay plugged in. So the reason that they do this is a tactic that they use in order to keep you surrounded by the people who all believe the same thing. So if you're not staying plugged in, you're gonna lose your motivation because you're not around all the people who believe the same things about the company or believe that they can make it to the top. You're not around all the positivity. So if they keep you plugged in and keep you present, then that's when people don't fall off as much, I guess.
The Sunday and Monday night corporate calls, any calls that you can plug into, try to be on those. It's so motivating to hear from other people who are in your same situation and probably going through the same types of issues that you're going through. The other thing is find a buddy. So find a buddy in the business that you can kind of relate with and motivate each other. Like, a huge reason that and I have been successful is because we've been able to connect from day one, and we've been able to, you know, push each other through those tough times. We had like 3,000 plus volume to get for both of us to promote one month, and we had 2 days to do it. There's no way I could have done it by myself, but having a buddy with you to help push you and motivate you is really helpful in this business. That's a huge thing that's helped keep me motivated. If I'm ever struggling or feeling disconnected, I'll text or whoever in the business, and I'll just, you know, say, I need a push. Give me a push. So find a buddy that you can relate with. Personal development is really important to staying motivated. Find a good personal development book, or I would just honestly go to Pinterest and I would type in like personal development or, you know, morning mantras or daily motivation, anything like that to keep me motivated.
Lame.
And then when I first started, something that really helped me stay motivated was watching training videos. So if I feel like like I'm at a...
Now my favorite thing to keep me motivated on my YouTube channel is watching training videos. This all comes full circle now. Love it.
brick wall, and that I'm not signing anyone, and I kind of lose motivation because I'm not signing anyone, I'll go to YouTube and I'll type in any of those people's names that we gave you and watch some of their videos.
That person I just mentioned again is our favorite girl. So really looked up to her apparently back in the day. There's another one of our favorite girls.
Those are all really good videos that are going to give you tough love to motivate you if you're feeling unmotivated.
Tough love is what they like to call it. That's where they scream in your face and tell you that you're worthless if you're not bringing in more distributors. Tough love.
Anything to add to that? No? Did that help, Melanie? You're muted, but I can see you shaking your head.
Well, yeah, that helps. Yeah.
Okay, so
Melanie's the one that I had on my channel already, and she actually has her own channel now, so you should definitely check her out. I'll link her down below. But she's the one that asked about time management and whatever else, and I asked her if it was helpful, and she's like,
Yeah, definitely.
and she just talked about yesterday in one of her videos how personal development was a crock of shit.
So
happy birthday.
thank you. I guess with the time management, more what I struggle with is when, like, building the relationships, like, that takes, I think, time. I feel like I spend more time creeping and liking and commenting on people's pictures than like messaging them and talking to them, because that takes more like thought than, oh, you look pretty or whatever.
Actually, I was talking with me about this the other day. Some of my relationships on Facebook, I feel like some people think that they think way too much into it, that it has to be some like elaborate relationship with them. When some of my relationships on Instagram are simply, I comment on someone's photo and they come back and, you know, like, are really active on my page. So it's not necessarily like a message, like whatever, conversation, but it's just like, I don't know, it's like a connection that we have over Instagram or Facebook that we both like, I don't know, just a connection kind of. So it doesn't have to be like a huge long conversation. You feel like you know this person inside and out. It can be just like, you know, short little things. But I was telling me too, sometimes instead of commenting on their picture, say, you know, like, oh my gosh, girl, I'm in love with that dress. Where did you get it? Instead of saying that on that picture, just say it in a message. So it's kind of more private.
It reminds me of Mean Girls when she's like, what does she say? I love that skirt. Where did you get it?
Oh my God, I love your skirt. Where did you get it? That is the ugliest effing skirt I've ever seen.
It's so fake.
And it's more likely to lead to a conversation instead of having a conversation on a picture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that we think too much into the whole relationships thing. Like when you met me, Melanie, like, what, like, did we have any special type of like, it was like, hey, I'm gonna order a beer, like, so it doesn't have to be anything special. It's just however you would talk to me, that's how you would just talk to everybody, you know?
It's so funny looking at this now because in Melanie's video the other day, she literally was talking about how she was focused on like building the relationships and doing attraction marketing. So where you just portray this like irresistible business opportunity on your page and then people flock to you. And we all, meaning the other distributors who were all like on our team, like looked down on that, and we were all like,
She's never gonna be successful like that. Like, why don't you just do the work and blah, blah, blah.
when like looking back now, she was just trying to be a genuine person. Like she genuinely wanted to be herself and not mass message people. She wanted to have like genuine connections with people. But here I was telling her basically that she's overthinking it and that she just needs to like do the damn thing basically.
And just be overly cheesy.
And be overly cheesy. Oh, good Lord above. Sometimes I wonder about myself.
like if you really like the girl's dress, like I try to be genuine. If I really like the dress,
Good attempt at a save.
I'll just be like, oh my gosh, girl, that dress is to die for. And you know, I would never say that to somebody in person, but people like feed off of that kind of like enthusiasm.
And here everybody on the Zoom is like laughing, but I'm literally telling them that I would never say this to people in real life, but people thrive off of this type of excitement and enthusiasm. So definitely do it. And everybody's just like laughing along like it's a normal thing. This is what happens in MLMs, you guys. Like people use these tactics that to the outside world seem super sketchy, but when you're in the MLM, it's just like a normal thing. Like it's just, people laugh about it because it's just normal. Just like the MLMs in relation to cults thing, people in the MLM will be like,
Yeah, we're part of a cult. Cult sisters.
you know, like everybody laughs about it, but to the outside world, we're like, yeah, you freaking are.
Yeah.
Funny story, I actually had my husband do some of my like interactions a while back, and I like went back to look at what he was saying.
I remember this. He commented on one of my photos and he's like, oh my God, I love your lipstick.
Yo, I do not remember that. I cannot. Oh my gosh. Oh, so he commented on one of my teammates and said, oh God, I have a stomach cramp because I'm laughing so hard. He commented on one of my teammates' photos and said he loved her lipstick. I don't remember having my husband do my interactions for me. I'm really curious if he remembers that. I'm gonna have to ask him when he gets home. Oh my gosh. Whew. All right, let's continue.
He said, oh girl, that lip color. I'm like, oh my God.
No, he did not. Oh my gosh. I really hope he did do that. I hope he remembers doing that too. Oh my God.
He put like the little lipstick emoji. I'm like, oh, I told him to be cheesy and he listened, so. But anyways, yeah. Be overly nice, and if you feel like, that's the same with posting too, like if you feel like people are just gonna think I'm a Barbie, like this is ridiculously cheesy or you know whatever, then post it because people love that kind of stuff.
I said that with such a serious face. If you feel like people are just think you're just ridiculous, if you feel like that's how people are gonna perceive you, then post that because people love that. Just with a serious face.
I was actually talking to about that. I was like, because me and are really similar with our like, we're not very affectionate people. We don't really like hugs. And she's like, how am I supposed to be like sensitive when I'm not a sensitive person? I'm like, I had to learn to.
Post today with Riley. That was sensitive. That's all you get.
That's funny.
I'm here to tell you, if a job is asking you to not be yourself in order to be successful, then it's not a good job for you. Anyways, you guys, my battery is dying on my camera, but like I said, I had to just sit down and film my reaction to this video because I only watched the first couple minutes and I was like, I gotta share this. So I'm really glad I did because I got a good laugh out of it. Like I literally got a stomach cramp because I was laughing so hard. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you in my next one. Bye!